Okay, hey, thanks for coming back. So yesterday you guys made your food webs, and you guys did a great job of making your food web. Now you guys mentioned that you went to Yellowstone. So what's missing?
What about the wolf?
The wolf, yeah, that's a huge deal. So our learning objective today is that at the end of the day, I will understand how introducing a new species impacts our system. So before we start, does it even matter? Does adding a new species impact our system at all? Does it matter which one we introduce?
Depends. Maybe.
Depends, maybe? Alright, so hopefully we answer that today. So you guys have your food webs that you guys created last time, and then we noted the relationship between the grizzly bear and the wheatgrass, and we can see that a lot of these have a lot of different relationships. The eagle has a relationship with green algae. We have the beaver with lodgepole pine. So today we're going to introduce a new animal. We're going to introduce the wolf. So we introduced wolves back into Yellowstone, and they are a secondary consumer. So what I'd like you guys to do is to add more relationship lines in your food web, and then we can talk about how introducing this species has made an impact or has not made an impact. So within your groups, take 5 minutes and work on that.
I think the wolf. That's lots of stuff.
Well, definitely gonna eat mostly elk, probably.
A lot of elk and probably buffalo, some sheep.
Probably not so much bighorn sheep due to their range difference.
That's a good call. Let's get some drainage here. So we'll eat elk.
It says beavers on here, so. I already have one elk, but
Oh,
I
you
think
did?
it just disappeared into the web of string.
It's there. All right, we're good.
Somewhere in there.
How's this group doing? Do you guys think you've mapped it all out?
Almost. One more string here. Didn't see a sheep on there, so. Okay, I think we're good.
Wow. That's a lot of different webs that wolf made, huh? So walk me through what happened when we introduced the wolf. What did it consume?
Consumes basically this entire row of primary consumer.
That whole row, huh? That's incredible, huh? So what happens if the wolf eats all of these consumers? Who else does that affect?
It would affect the other secondary consumers that are going for the same resource.
Yeah, if they eat all the bison, then our grizzly bears, we have no more grizzly bears.
It's,
And if it eats all the elk, we have no more coyotes. Well, that's weird. We just lost 2 animals. And then what happens to the rest of the populations? We
Could go
could-
extinct.
Yeah, right? So if we lost these, then our other primary producers will continue to grow, because there's nothing to monitor that. So does adding the wolf make an impact?
it's a huge impact.
Yeah, right?
More
So
than
we
we thought.
make a huge impact by adding that wolf. What other relationships do you see when we add that wolf?
Primary producers produce more.
So we'll have more primary production. And then what happens, do you think, if the wolves continue to eat all of these primary consumers? Are they going to grow?
No, they'll decline.
Decline in population.
Right, so in your groups now, make a graph. Now I'd like you guys to graph the number of wolves in the population over time if we did not have wheatgrass in our aspen.
So if we lost these 2 primary producers? What would happen to the wolf? Is that correct?
Yes. So without aspen and wheatgrass, graph the number in the population over time of the wolves. Work with your groups and come up with a graph.
So if we lose primary producers,
Lose animal,
we lose a lot of these,
we lose, okay,
which in turn would also cut the population.
right, you'd probably cut it
So
in
it
half.
would be declining.
Probably come to an equilibrium somewhere else, 'cause there's still some things to eat.
Like,
Look okay, you think?
kind of like that, yeah. That's good.
Okay, does this group have an answer?
I think so.
Something like that, maybe?
So walk me through your graph and what you guys were thinking. What patterns did you guys see when you guys started taking away producers?
So what we saw was if the aspen and the wheatgrass declined in population, and so would these three primary consumers. So we wouldn't have as much stuff to feast on. And if these primary consumers declined, then the wolf would also decline because it wouldn't have as much to eat.
Exactly. So how does nature balance itself so that that doesn't happen?
That's a good question.
So what happens to the secondary consumers when primary consumers go down?
They go down.
They go down. Yeah. And what happens to the secondary consumers when primary production goes up?
They would go up.
Yeah, right. So it regulates itself by having balance between all of those. So does adding a new species impact the system?
It does.
It does. I hope you guys see that